In the village of Umedike, the people gathered once every year around a great fire to honor their ancestors. The ritual was held in the open courtyard before the shrine of Ola, the earth goddess. Palm fronds decorated the space, drums echoed into the night, and the air smelled of roasted yam and palm oil. It was said that when the fire burned high enough, the shadows cast upon the earth were not merely of the living but also of the dead. These shadows danced, flickered, and sometimes even whispered secrets that only the bold dared to hear. Namdi, a boy of 17, had always been fascinated by the ancestral fire. While others bowed their heads, he kept his eyes fixed on the flames, curious about the shadows that seemed to stretch further than the firelight should allow. His grandmother often warned him, "Do not follow the shadows, for they lead where the living cannot return." But on this year's festival night, something strange happened. As the drums beat and the villagers chanted, Namdi saw a shadow move against the firelight, yet the figure it belonged to was not among the living. It was tall, cloaked, and its head bore the marks of tribal scarifications long forgotten by the village. The shadow turned and beckoned him, fear word with curiosity in Namdi's chest. Drawn by something he could not name, he stepped away from the circle and followed the shadow into the darkness beyond the fire. The villagers remained entranced by the ritual. No one noticed his absence. The shadow led him to the edge of the forest, where the flames seemed to glow in the air though no wood burned there. From within the glowing haze, a voice spoke. "Namdi, blood of Umedike, the ancestors watch. The fire you see is not mere flame, it is the bridge between our worlds. Guard it, for when the fire dies, the bond between the living and the dead will fade." Suddenly, the shadow surged forward, engulfing him. For a moment he felt weightless, as though he stood in two worlds at once, the living and the ancestral. He saw warriors of old, women pounding yam in clay mortars, hunters returning with antelope, children laughing in courtyards long turned to dust. They looked at him with eyes full of expectation, then the shadow released him. He staggered back, the night air filling his lungs. When he returned to the courtyard, the fire had dimmed, and the villagers were dispersing. No one had noticed his absence. From that night onward, Namdi carried the weight of what he had seen. When he sat by the fire, he could hear faint voices in the crackle of the flames. He had become the keeper of the secret, chosen by the ancestors themselves, and so, in Umedike, when the shadows stretched long and strange by the ancestral fire, the people whispered of Namdi, the boy who followed the shadows, and returned with their burden.